Good evening. It worked. I forgot to hit the live thing after I started the countdown thing, and I'm like, it's all right. Nobody wanted to see that anyway.
Yeah, I was tempted to hit it, but then I was like, then somebody else will turn the stream off.
And we'll start and go, and yeah.
Well, you once you turn it off, you can't turn it back on.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. It'll be all right, as we say down here. So, what's up, fellas? Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Good evening.
Appreciate y'all joining us tonight, since we're kind of rogue streaming, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's what it is. Well, the thing is that we wanted
Off
to
the
provide.
books.
Don't call it.
We wanted to provide the Ham Bros with some quality programming this Tuesday night. So
Right. Because
We
there's
talk about radio.
right. I wasn't going to say that, but there it is. It's just out there like that weird uncle at the Thanksgiving table that's lifting the cheek and ripping one every so often.
yeah,
That guy.
That sums him up in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah, we all got that. We all got that uncle, at least one. Yeah.
yeah.
There's Uncle Shane right now.
Shaney McShane face.
What's up?
And hi to everybody in the chat. Chris, 45. Shane already talked to you. Quit talking. W8, WV8EER. Sam Weaver, 45. 45's all over the chat.
Yeah, he is.
Pamela. And that's all I see so far. So we are going to do some science tonight
Yeah.
and math on the stream. And Ape has signed up to do the mathy part. So any miscalculations or lies about math, you redirect those to the primate, in his personal email box, spamape@null.com. I think that's it.
The bit bucket, right? No.
So we're going to talk about this thing. So I did and of course it's green. You can't see it. This is the Abri AR869 HT. And I bought this from AliExpress or Banggood, one of the two. I was in chat with someone late one night. I think Thump was in that discussion too. And we were all perusing Banggood, AliExpress, whatever. And we saw that radio, and I said, well, I must have that. That looks cool. Because I mean,
Sounds like a gym move.
Right, it does. It looks, it actually does look nice and
You
feels
can gym at like 11
solid.
a.m. on a Tuesday. He don't buy nothing. You get him at 9 p.m. on a
Right.
on a Friday night.
Right.
Cart's full.
I'll take 6 of those, please. So
Are they again?
yeah, I don't even know. So it feels like a quality radio. I mean, honestly, it feels a little more solid than a Fang, although I think it's a first cousin of a UV5R.
So what do we call that? Big hat, no cattle? It's like a truck with mall tires. It looks good, but doesn't actually work.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people
my
don't
Texans
care,
are.
right? A lot of people will be like, look, I don't care that it has spurs and it transmits on 9 frequencies and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's against the rules, right? And so, I mean, we should care. We should want to keep the spectrum as clean as good hams. We want to keep it as clean as possible. So I think one of the things that we do is we test stuff for harmonics all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so it's not just, hey, look, I reviewed this radio. Here's my affiliate link. Go buy it. We want to make sure that we make solid recommendations. Now, that being said, we've all made mistakes and we've all promoted radios that are dirty. But part of the learning with it is trying to correct that and educate folks. So I've actually got a couple of HTs that I don't use because they're so dirty. And I'm not happy about that, but I mean, I just don't want to use them.
This is literally sat in a box since I did the first video on this with the spectrum analyzer. And I was like, oh my God. And it's cool. And Steven, you're right. It's the original spread spectrum HT because it transmits on like 5 frequencies at the same time. You can tune in all over the band and hear this radio go. It is. It's
You did that, right? Like
Sketchers.
you tuned into one of the harmonics, right? And you were able to hear it.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I got my Fang. Is there nothing a Fang can't do? I got my UV6R Fang, which is a clean radio. It was beautiful. And I tuned the Fang into one of the harmonics on this guy, and shoot, you could hear it all day, loud and clear.
It's hilarious.
So, yeah. Mike, I have not done an FT70 because I don't have one anymore. I sold mine to somebody, one of y'all.
Wasn't me. I would have taken
Not y'all, all them y'all.
one of them in the chats.
One of them's in the chats out yonder way. But I have not done one. Now, I have tested my FT5D, and it was perfect. And I would have been just completely floored if one of the big 3 radios was like that.
Yeah, so I did the FT70, and it is clean as can
That's right.
be.
You did.
And so I always use that as a reference for HT. If I'm going to compare like something around an HT to another HT, I always pick the FT70 because I really like that radio. There's 2 things about the 70 that I just don't like. The battery life is abysmal. I'm not sure what the right word is.
Either word fits.
What's up, Chuck?
There he is. Good one, Charles.
And so the battery's a problem. And the other one is,
Yeah.
is that when you try to program it with the computer, you have to do a voodoo dance. I mean, you have to plug and unplug and turn it on and off and all this other craziness.
Yeah.
Which really sucks. But other than that, it's a really, really nice HT.
Yeah. That was one of my first forays into, and we're getting a little off topic, but who cares? It's our show. It's my show. I don't
There you
care.
go.
Squirrels. That was one of my first forays into using RT Systems software, was with the FT70. Because although it cost me $50 because you have to buy their cable, you don't have to do the voodoo dance.
Yeah.
Because Abe's not kidding. I mean, it's a weird procedure to program that from the factory with a normal cable. It's a total pain in the butt.
Yeah, for sure.
Chuck is at his mom's house. She was had a little bit of a health scare, and she's doing well. So he's getting her squared away this evening, or he'd be here too. And we're glad that she's doing good. So what we're going to do tonight, I've got several things available for us to monkey with. One of the first things is we've got a one of the MFJ digital watt meters here. And let me swap the camera over to that one. Don't mind my Dr. Pepper cap. That's a scientific
those
Dr.
stickers.
Pepper cap.
Where would somebody get those stickers if they wanted them?
Well, now that you mentioned it, we could. Hey guys, this is Jim from Coffee and Ham Radios, and I wanted to show you a couple things that we're very proud of. First up is our signature Coffee and Ham Radios stainless steel tumbler. This is the 30-ounce double-wall vacuum-insulated stainless steel tumbler designed to keep your hot beverages hot and your cold beverages cold. It has a hard plastic lid. This is a tight-fitting lid and is designed to not come off in the event of a catastrophic tump over of your beverage.
Over.
This will keep things warm for quite a while. This is an everyday driver for me. My coffee gets poured in this at the house, and an hour and a half later, I'm still drinking hot coffee at work. The lid that goes on has a rubber seal to keep from leaking. And these tumblers come with a unique lid that has this safety latch that you can pop back and lock in place to take a drink of your beverage and then put it back, latch it down, and nothing is going to spill. So even if this thing gets knocked over at field day, nothing is going to spill out. These come with a sticker from Arctic, which is where we got these made at. These are excellent tumblers. I highly recommend. The other thing we have to show you is our Coffee and Ham Radio sticker pack. The sticker pack comes with 5 stickers, at the center of which is the beautiful Coffee and Ham Radio's logo, followed up by, in no particular order, Temporarily Offline, FEP Labs Radio, KK6USY. I really should have done mine first.
And of course, it wouldn't be complete without the Smokin' Ape. These are available also on our website. Both of these can be purchased there. The tumblers are $25.
There's no I in team, baby.
The sticker pack is $15. Please go to www.coffeeandhamradios.com to get these or any of the other ham essential products that we have available.
Ham essentials. That's right.
Oof, I don't like this layout.
Yeah, it's. I could have made. I should have
the
done
one
this
point.
with my face down here or something, but y'all don't need
Nah,
to see that.
it's probably okay not having your face on.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too.
Small favors.
I do want to point out one thing. So we also have antennas for sale: the Apollo and the Mercury. We have several Apollos left, and I think the mercury supply is almost diminished to 0. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't checked the website today. And we have other merch that will be coming in the next couple of weeks, but we're not going to tell you what that is. So, you'll have to keep checking back to coffeeandhamradios.com. So, all right. So the first thing we want to do is, wow, that does not show up on the camera. Woo.
You're running 2 different cameras, Jim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my face on one, and then this is an overhead. Let me see if I can...
Maybe dim the lights. There
we go. That's a little better. A little better. Man, that's...
what angle you hold it at, too.
Yeah, that's hot as fire. Okay. Anyway, so I am on high power VHF call. And what we wanted to find out was, so the radio says it's 5 watts. And I take that with a grain of salt because I got it off of AliExpress. But let's find out what it says. So we are on VHF call 14652. If I hold it up, is it any easier? Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, look at that.
KN4YCD testing 1 2 3 4. So 4.4. It started out at 5. It kind of went down.
It got warm.
I guess. Yeah.
And when you key up, press like the 5 key, which is the DTMF tone, which is a little bit more than just the carrier. So when you don't say anything, you just get the FM carrier. So you may get a little bit more juice when you put a tone in there.
All right. Doesn't look like it.
All right.
Not even hearing it.
Yeah, I don't hear it either.
Well, let's try this. KN4YCD audio. Audio.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
CQ repeater. So 4.4-ish watts. That's on high power. And if we go to low power, oops, wrong one. What have I done? All right, I can't hold that at the same time. So let me let me flip that back. So what we also wanted to see was, so it's putting out 4.4 watts. But now since it's putting out 4.4 watts across all those harmonics, it's not going to be 4.4 watts at the primary signal. Is that what we're thinking, Abe, when we were talking about this the other day?
Yeah, so one of the things that I've noticed is that when you transmit on a 5-watt radio that's clean, then you get around 35 dBm, I think 36, 37 dBm, something like that, which translates into 5 watts. But a lot of times what you can get is a measurement from just a simple power meter that includes your fundamental or your primary frequency as well as the first, second, and third harmonics. So I've never tested that. That's what we were talking about, right? So what we wanted to do is see if the fundamental signal that comes through that thing has the same power as we're seeing on the SWR meter.
And just for reference, on low power, it is 0.36 watts on low power. So, wow. A QQRP HT, right? Something like that.
QRPP.
QRPP. I'd go with that. That seems legitimate.
All the P. It's like plus P plus.
Right. So there's that. So let me disconnect this thing and get it off the bench. Now, Abe, what else were we talking about? Because I have the O1 scope here, and I also have the spectrum analyzer.
Well, we could test it with the O1 scope to see how clean that signal is, but you're going to have to get a DTMF tone out of that thing Maybe it doesn't do DTMF tones. I don't know.
Well,
So
If you have a radio, you can test.
yeah, you could. If you have another like a Fang, you might be able to look at it.
not
Quality radio.
handy. Not handy. Let me talk amongst yourselves.
So I pulled
So, Abe,
up.
how was work today? Did you do some training at work today?
Yeah, I did do some training at work today, and it was not fun. So I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but I was accidentally speeding, and I got pulled over by Officer Friendly, and I have to do a online driver's rehabilitation class. And so today I was doing that, and basically it's just watching video after video of people getting into car accidents, and it's not fun.
Okay, I don't think DTMF was turned on.
Did you read the manual, Jim?
Son, you know me. That did not happen. All right.
So I'm still working on fixing up your K2 radio there, and every time I carve out a section of time to get working on it and get all the parts that I think I need, I get to the end of the next 3 steps in the
There we go.
process,
Let's see what
and
that
I
looks
need more
like on
parts.
that. Let's see what that looks like on that scope.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. Four wheeling. Evan Baccarat is in the chat, and he's asking if I gave him my call sign or my government name. He did get the government name. I wasn't going to play any games.
Abe, we've talked about this. Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So let's try. It's showing
More
4.
power.
Yeah, it's showing
So we're
438.
4.4, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the same. So no difference there. All right, let's move that out of the way. And let's take a look at it on the 01. So I have a special test rig for the 01. This is this is
Ed's
the special
asking-
test rig for the 01.
Hey, what's up, Kevin? Ed's asking. He's got DTMF with a question mark on there, and so it's simply like a touch tone that you used to have on the old, well, even the new phones have
Yep.
like a touch tone. When you press a number, you get a corresponding tone.
I'm thinking if he's asking that question, he's probably not old enough to remember touch-tone phones.
Well, isn't your cell phone still makes those tones though, right?
No, they stopped doing that a long time ago. You don't have a flat phone yet, do you, Abe?
No. I don't.
That's why you don't know.
And
Giving you a hard time, Ed.
so we use them for telemetry, and that's pretty much it, right? Telemetry. So like sometimes with repeaters and stuff like that.
Right.
Like at the beginning of a net, you'll hear people turn off the PL tone, for example, and they do that by issuing DTMF tones over the frequency that will remote control the repeater.
Yep.
Right.
And then you can set the clock on the repeater, or if you're using an all-star node, you can change into a different talk group with it.
Yeah. Or you can link them sometimes with like
Yeah.
linked repeaters, or with what is it called? Echo Link. If you want to play around with the Echo Link,
The Echo Link? Is that like the Facebook?
it's exactly like the Facebook, except for it doesn't collect your data. Maybe it does. I don't know.
I think it probably collects your data.
Here we go. We got a smart person in here. Dial tone multi-frequency.
Yep. Oh, hey, Kevin. Yeah, and back in the day, that was how phone calls were, once they came up with DTMF, that's how phone calls were transmitted between switches by using those tones. That's part of the signaling setup.
Mm-hmm.
So your phone, you'd pick up and you'd have dial tone, and then you'd start dialing numbers, and it's changed a lot, but it's still the same system. But, originally the phone system, when you dialed One, that still means the United States. That's our country code because we invented phones. And we
Take
did.
that, Europe.
Take that, Europe in Canada. Invented phones. Right here. Walked on the moon. Oh, yeah. So we'll use miles, feet, and inches if we want.
We walked on the replica of the moon down in Huntsville.
And ain't nobody else walked on the replica down in Huntsville now, have they?
No, they have not.
Okay. All right.
We'd have
We
an
invented the
international
iPhone,
incident if
even.
they did.
Anyway,
By
so
we mean none of us.
Right, none of us, no. I tried to go there one time. I got a letter back. They said restraining order. I didn't know what that meant. So I just
For what? What was this?
nothing. It was if I got to explain the gag, it sucked.
Didn't land.
Right. So anyway, the tones were used to signal the switching equipment where the call was going to get routed to. And the biggest change came about in the mid 90s when they expanded the area codes in use. Alabama was the first state. This whole state used to be 205. And then in the, 94, 95, somewhere in there, maybe a little later, the national dialing plan started changing. They started adding extra area codes. I think we've got 4 of them in Alabama now. And we only have like a population of 4 million statewide. But
So I've got a internet phone number that I use and for obfuscation purposes, obviously. And
that one
it's not my real area code. And so when I get text messages all the time from the local politicians in that area being like, hey, can we count on you for support at the whatever? They'll text me that and I'll text them back. Are you going to have beer? It's like, I'll be there if you have beer. So,
okay. So
but
we
for
have
for the stream, here's kind of the premise, right? So we have watched
Yeah.
the DBM conversion calculator. And if I come over here and I put in 4.4, which is about what we were seeing on that SWR power meter, if we convert that to DBM, so when we put it on the spectrum analyzer, the fundamental frequency should be 36.43 dBm. And if that frequency isn't, then there's a delta there that's being transmitted out on other frequencies. Now, the one thing that we didn't talk about too much, I think, when we were plotting this story out is that I'm not sure how wide the bandwidth of that MFJ power meter is and if it can pick up frequencies outside of that band. You know what I mean? Like on the back of it, it'll say it's good from X amount of watts X amount of megahertz. It might not, it might have filtering in it to block out other bands.
and the O1 is going to let us down because it says low battery and it just went off.
Oh boy.
It's like I'm playing cards with my brother's kids.
Well, it's kind of weird because I charged it. It's been sitting on the charger all day.
Did you leave it on? What's up?
No, it's been off.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Right? I know. Totally. So we are O1 free because the other scope is out in the shop.
Oh, wanless.
We're O1-less. O1 Kenobi. So we will pull out the spectrum analyzer.
All right. Here's the good part.
Right?
The moment you've all been waiting for.
So we're saying at 4 watts, that is 37 dB. I can actually convert the scale on this to watts, so we can look at it in watts.
Evening, Lee.
Dual tone multi-frequency, that's right. That's
have
why
some-
those tones sound so weird, because there's 2 tones at the same time.
We have some heresy from Lionel. He's saying
Lionel, Lionel, don't you start with your hereticalness. So the maximum input on this
it's probably 10 dBm, right?
is 20.
Dang. What is it on this thing? I'll
What's
never
yours?
be able to read that without my magnifying glass. Let me go ahead and get it out. My vision enhancement device. Damn, it says plus 30.
On yours?
Yep.
You fancy, son.
And then 50 volts DC. So a lot of times what we put on there is a DC block. So even though we're looking for AC frequency, sometimes DC will be on your transmission line. If you
Creep
block
through.
that,
Right.
It'll help you out.
Now the
Somebody's been Googling. The Faux 5 must have fired up the Google machine.
there we go.
Or maybe
He's defending
he might have asked ChatGPT. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter where he's from because he lived in the U.S. when he invented the phone. So
Yeah. So it's still American as far as I'm concerned.
right, exactly. How much attenuation will this give me? This will give me 30. So this will give me 30 dBm of attenuation, and it has a plus 20 input. So that means I don't need an attenuator.
Let me see what you're working with over there. I would put at least 40 dB of attenuation on that thing.
Okay. Well, I can do that because I've got an attenuator back here.
Now, when you're a spectrum analyzer, do you have the ability to put a gain value in there so you can put in what your attenuator is, or we can just add it to the number that we get, right?
Yeah. So I need another jumper. Of course I do. Nope, that'll work.
But he used American parts, Jeff. So that's
If he was using a tiny SA, we'd be done by now.
You know, we also can claim Tesla. He's American.
Now, I'm not going to call anybody out directly, but on one of our streams, somebody was smart mouthing about the tiny SA and called it junk. And I just so happened to see on page 46 of this month's QST, they reviewed the tiny SA Ultra. And they sang its praises and said it would be a very capable tool for any ham shack.
And it's fine. It works. It does. It is good enough for ham. Absolutely.
Well, I got to tell you, the results I get on it are pretty similar to what I get on the Siglant. And a lot of people will give me grief. They'll ham shame me and say, well, how come you're not doing any of these videos using the Siglant? You're using the Tiny SA. You're one of them.
Yes, I am.
But you ain't the only one of them. But I do that because most people can do. More people have a likelihood of having a Tiny SA than they do the Siglant.
Right.
And so I want to show, hey, this is everyday ham can do this kind of thing.
Okay, so let me switch to that. And unfortunately, I don't know how good of a view we're going to have.
As long as you're dressed.
There you go.
And let me see if I can zoom that in a little bit.
There we go.
I think I can zoom this in without
Rigel.
jacking it up. Well,
Like a nice HF radio. I wish these things had a HDMI out.
I
Yeah.
actually even settle for a DVI.
right.
That
would be
for
awesome.
for RCA.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That's the
Well-
only reason why I don't have one.
Yeah.
The
only reason.
Well, some of these things are the 10 grand ones. They do have HDMI out.
Let me try something else.
I saved it all for you. I saved you all.
What's Jim?
I knew
doing?
what I was trying to say.
Well, the camera's on an arm. I'm trying to move the arm down. Where I
So
can sit in front of this, but the problem is I got to see it too. So
mine doesn't have it, Steven. So I can use the whatever that software is. I can't remember. NSA software. Or
oh,
something?
NI Visa.
NI Visa. So
Yeah.
I can use that, but the output is really small. It's on the computer even. It's hard to see. If you blow it up, then it's all pixelated.
I hate it when it's pixelated.
Me too.
Oh Lord, this is also upside down.
NSA software. That's right, Dave.
Yeah, the problem is I can't get the camera back. It's about as good as that's going to get, fellas. And this little arm is jacked up too. It's loose and spun out, so it won't move. Okay, so I have the 30 dB attenuator on here. This has attenuation built in, so let me turn that off. And our reference dBm level, let's set to -40 and see what we get. Actually, that's better. So and let me set markers.
He did not know he was muted.
Marker 2.
Whose turn is it to be on Clubhouse this week? Nice. I think it's Chuck's turn.
They're talking about weather tonight on the Clubhouse, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're actually talking about somewhat ham-related things. Joe Brett, we're kidding you.
Joe Brett said he rode out that storm in his bathtub with a 7300.
Or that amp, probably. Joe Brett loves that amp. Marker 3. So what I'm doing is I'm setting these markers, and then we can turn on the marker table and read the numbers, and it'll be a whole lot easier. All right. Marker table on. Okay. I'll probably read that for you since I don't know if you can see it. Marker 1 is at 140 megahertz, and it's -70 dBm. I could also change this to watts too. I'll do that in a second. Marker 2 is at 290, and it's -24. Marker 3 is at 437.5, and it's -40. And marker 4 is at 585, and it's -45. And we have a 40 dB attenuator in line, so. Now, let's do this, turn that off. Let's go back and change our...
See, something's different. Something's goofy about that, though, right?
Well,
because like your marker 1 is on your fundamental, so that should be the highest frequency, right?
yes.
It is. It's off the top of the screen.
But in the table, it's saying.
Oh,
negative.
no, it's not. No, it's not. Hang on. I don't have it on the top. That's my bad. There's a way to make it center on the peak, and I don't remember
Yeah, can't
how
you
to do
do
that.
peak search or something like that?
Yeah, you can if I knew how to do
I
it.
guess we have to get TO to Google the manual.
If
Yeah.
only this was Tiny SA, we'd be done by now.
Okay, there we go. How about this? Marker 1 is -5 dBm.
There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. As I was saying that, I thought that seemed awful sketchy. Marker 2 is -18, marker 3 is -40, and marker 4 is -45.
So that -5, right? Plus the 40. How much is your attenuator?
I believe it's 40.
So that would give us 35 dB, right, on the plus side. And that comes to 3.16 watts.
So here is our watt reading. Marker 1 is 312 microwatts. Marker 2 is 15 microwatts. Marker 4 is 110 nanowatts. And marker 4 is 30 nanowatts.
Nanowatts.
Well, I guess that's what it says. It says NW. NW and UW, so microwatts and nanowatts.
That's what
I
it
thought it was
is.
an interesting word.
But the problem is that we have to account for the attenuator in there, right? Which makes it almost impossible.
So, let's see.
But the gist of it is that on your fundamental frequency, you're getting about 3.1 watts.
Yeah.
And if you went by the reading of the MFJ watt meter, we were thinking it was 4.5.
So
Right?
this,
So you're losing
yeah.
about 1.4 watts in those harmonic frequencies.
which out of 5 watt, well, out of 4.4 watts, 1.5 watts is a significant percentage.
25%, son.
25%. Yep. Told you we was doing math on the stream.
So that does mean that our premise has been proven, right? Or does that mean it was our hypothesis? Our premise became a hypothesis, which was proven?
Sure. I totally will buy that.
Yes, Stephen. We want to add 40 to all of those.
So, yeah. And if we change that back to dBm, and I can fool with the scale. So the primary is at -5 dBm. The secondary is at -18. Now, I'm no math expert, but -5 minus -18 is not 43.
No, so that that's not compliant, and it's only. What is the last one? How many is that?
The bottom one is 45, -45.
So you might be cool on the last harmonic,
Right.
but on the other two, so you're definitely in violation.
The one that
of-
matters.
Yeah, you're definitely in violation of the code there.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that, so I guess the gist of it is, and what we wanted to say is that when you test these things with an SWR/power meter, and you think that you're getting a certain wattage out of your device, you're not. If the device has all these different harmonics in it, right? Because it takes power to make those other harmonics. So your initial 4.4 watts is getting spread across a couple of different things.
Right.
That's an interesting thought. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was messing around with something, and I was like, I wonder if that theory would hold water, and it looks like it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So all of my power tests for all my radios that I've done, the ones with harmonics, those videos are wrong.
Yeah, well, I think you're not the only ham that's ever done that, son.
Yeah, I don't think I am either.
Because I believe we've all done that deed. Completely.
So here's the table, rapid tables, and this is a great website.
Yes.
So we were originally you were at -5, right? Which was what the reading was saying. When you run that, you say, oh my goodness, it's this. Look how low the wattage is. But we have to add the 40 dB to this, right? Because that's what the attenuator was. That gives us 35. That takes us up to 3.16. Now, originally, we were at 4.4, right?
Correct.
So what we should have gotten is 36.4 dBm, and we didn't. That's how we knew we had a problem.
Yep. Well, that power's got to go somewhere. Now,
Yeah.
now, if we had the correct, and I don't know the right term here. If this radio had the output clean, does that mean we're not generating harmonics and we're getting more of our total power?
Yeah,
Or we're
it-
just not seeing those harmonics because we're clamping it off, but they're still there.
Well, if you clamp them off, so when you measure for harmonics, the rule is that you have to measure at the antenna output, right? So if you measure it any other way, like if you have an antenna on here and you're measuring it through RF, that's close, but that's not how the test is really done. So if you have suppression of harmonics in here, whatever comes out of here is just going to be your fundamental, and that's the power that you're going to see on your SWR and power
Okay.
meter. So it should jive. So if you had another HT sitting there that you know is clean, we could test that theory.
Okay. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
We're talking amongst ourselves.
Oh,
And I guess we must have said Brojet's name 3 times because he has appeared in the chat.
He did, and he's well. We mentioned that he was in the bathtub, and he wanted to come in and defend himself.
Steve's saying next up, get a field strength meter and put it in. I can't even pronounce that. It's a vacuum chamber of some sorts, I would imagine. So we did.
Quiet chamber.
Yeah, we did build RF meters, but the problem with them is that they're I can't think of the word. They're reference RF meters, meaning I can take an RF reading here, and then I can go to the other side of the room and take a reading, and I can tell you what the difference is, but I can't tell you what the true RF power is because I guess it's a ghetto RF meter because I built it.
It's like a bathroom scale that's 5 pounds off. As long as you always measure yourself with that same scale, you know that you're making progress one way or the other.
Yeah.
You might not have the right number, but you know you're making progress.
Right. Well, what it's good for is for testing field strength. So what we can do is you could take maybe a directional antenna and walk around it and see it's working as designed or not.
Right. Look here. Before we test the Fang, because I did have a 6R in here.
Nice, which we know is clean.
It is, yeah, and we'll verify that live on camera. But before we do that, I think it's time for an unannounced giveaway.
Oh,
what do we got there? Multimeter. There we go.
We have the Venlabs VM600M. Damn it!
I'm going to enter this. I'm going to enter this one. That's a nice meter.
So this, I did a video on this today. It's not released yet. It will drop tomorrow sometime. I'm hoping to have it so it'll drop around 9 a.m. I think this is an updated of the VM 600A. It looks pretty similar. I think the range is extended a little bit. And it has a couple of features that the 600A does not have. This will do transistor testing. And it also has an IR meter in it where you can aim your remote at it and decode infrared codes or something. Now, the lucky winner of this, Steve or Ape, do you all know how to do I don't know how to do the giveaway dingus, so if you want to bring that up.
Steve is an expert at it.
I know.
Sure thing, Jim.
Thank you. Well, you're here to help and be a friend and, co-host. And this is not a virgin box anymore. It has been violated this afternoon because I opened it.
It's got your fingerprints all over it.
It might. And if you win this, you may not want it because I took off the plastic off the screen.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. Is it Venlab or Venlabs?
It is Venlab.
Singular.
But that multimeter is probably marketed under a bunch of different brands, right? That's typically how they work.
Yes, and what's interesting about that, and I discovered this afternoon, this model is not on Amazon yet. It is, however, on eBay at the Kaiweets store.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like a
Kaiweets is a
meter.
different meter than that meter.
I know. I couldn't find this meter branded as Kaiweets.
No, because it's just the Kaiweets is slightly better. Nothing wrong with the Venlab, but the Kaiweets is slightly better.
Whatever.
Well, it depends because you can
His
say
brain's frozen, y'all. He's been in the North Woods too long.
But Jim, you better quit yapping and start to measuring because we got 16 minutes to go.
Well, I'm waiting on Sparky here to do the giveaway dingus.
It's been waiting for you. I went ahead and put it up for you.
Okay, we'll get it. Drop a Venlab in the chat, just like Steve has it up there, if you want this awesome meter. And I thought it was a great meter. So we're going to give this like a minute or so because we still got some testimal stuff to do. Testilocating. Okay. That is not me doing that. That is one of these mopes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Drop a Venlab in the chat. We have 41 watching. So how many entries are we up to there, Steve? 15?
15. 15.
So while you're doing that, let me hook this up.
What do you want to call it, a 20, halfway?
That's what I normally do.
Yeah.
We need one more. Somebody get in there.
Come on, you just know you need another meter. Everybody needs meters,
You need at least 4 or 5.
right? I got a shop meter, I got a house meter, I got a truck meter.
Nightstand meter.
Well, you can do things with your truck meter that you can't do
A
with
meter
your
from
house
my
meter.
Yep.
21, draw.
Draw, click it.
Come
Click
on,
it.
ape.
Frequency mode.
Get out of here.
That was
Run it
rigged.
again. I already have it. I don't want it. Well, I mean, I do
Ship it
want it,
yourself.
but
That would
this
save
was
you
sent
on
in.
shipping.
This meter was sent into the channel for review.
Ed,
All right.
Here we go.
I think Ed deserves it.
Edster, I assume you're good on the Z. I'll get this in the mail to you tomorrow, buddy.
All right, congrats, Ed.
Congratulations, Ed.
All right. So,
So while you're doing that, I want to address, we had a comment here from Jody. And so just thinking out loud, if the attenuator has inductive or capacitive components, it may affect harmonic generation. Purely resistive is linear. Any chance of putting it on an LCR meter for fun? Yes, but the one thing is that in order to be, he's talking about an attenuator, I was thinking dummy load. Yeah, I mean, I guess what we'd probably have to do though is put a dummy load on the backside of that attenuator. And then what you could do is you could do an SWR test, and if it remained flat across the spectrum, then you knew there wasn't any reactance as a result of frequency. I don't know if Jim does have has an LCR meter.
I do, but I don't have it in here.
You have to wait for part 2 of the video.
Right, and I'm trying to find the AB button to get this thing to the B channel. Well, let's just
Here
do it
we
this
go.
way.
1 4 6 5 2
0.
0.
0, 0, 0.
That did it. Okay.
That's reasonably clean.
So our markers have moved, so let's adjust the markers. Marker 1, where is you? There we go. Marker 1, minus 9 dB. Marker 2. Are we calling this a spur right here? Or a harmonic? This little nubbin?
I would call that like some sort of IMD artifact.
Okay.
Well, if you stop
then
transmitting, does it stay? Yeah, it goes away. It's a thing.
All right, there's marker 2.
Or you have to have that thing on low power, right?
I might. Let me check that.
Because
What's
right
that
now
spell?
that's 1.25 watts.
Menu.
It is on low power.
Damn, I'm good.
Power. Confirm. Power. Confirm.
Okay. All right. How do I get out of the damn menu?
Now we should be somewhere around -5 or so.
There we go.
-3.8.
All right. So marker number 2. I'm going to call that marker 2 right there. Marker 3 is here.
So that's about 4.16 watts.
And marker 4 is way down here. All right, so marker 1 is -3 dBm, -3.7. Marker 2 is -53. Marker 3 is -62. And marker 4 is -60, 62, somewhere in there. It's bouncing around.
So according to this,
Transmit over time.
your
It's not
fundamentals
over,
your fundamentals 4.168. So if we throw that on the MFJ, we're probably going to get around 4.25 is what I would bet.
All right, let's see what we can do. Transmit overtime. What time is it?
We've got 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. What we are planning to do tonight is this stream should kick you all automatically over to them
Clubhouse.
them people at Ham Radio Clubhouse.
They were in here. They were probably looking to see if we were making jokes about them. Like, I don't see them anymore.
Well, then, Ape, you're slacking. Let's be making some jokes about him.
Well, it looks like Joe Brett entered he did enter the giveaway. He probably left after that.
He's like, I didn't get that. I need another meter. Right.
Shoot, man. Let's see. I don't see Shane hasn't posted in a little while.
Shane was in there. I don't know
He
if
looks like
he's-
at 6:38 he bailed.
he bailed.
Just kidding, I
Well,
don't know if he bailed. That was his last comment.
they're pre-gaming is what they're doing. They're drinking.
Oh,
most
Joe
likely.
Brett's still here. Hey, buddy. No, we're not making fun.
Not much.
And I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but it's National Joe Day.
Nice.
All right. Here we go.
Could you zoom in on that a little bit more? Shane?
No, shut up.
Hey, I can actually read it now. Oh, 3.5. Good thing it doesn't have any harmonics.
That's his SWR reading.
No, the SWR is 1. That's my wattage, sir.
He almost
That
had
should
you
be,
again.
that should be higher than that.
I will have to say, Ape did get you good earlier today.
Yeah, that was funny.
He got you so good you don't even know you've been gotten.
Well, I don't know.
Enhance.
Yeah, the best part about that too is that you played right along. I didn't have to tell you that was a joke.
I knew.
You were driving me crazy with that. I was like, son, what in the hell is this? I can't.
We're
working
I don't.
We're working on some images, and Ape posts the loading GIF. And
Yeah.
Chip's like, I'm still waiting.
Well, I mean, I know he's IT management, so I was allowing him some leeway,
It's
right?
like we stumped InfoSec again.
He's really
You're
not
not
IT management. That's also
I
part
actually
of the
have
joke.
tears in my
We've
eyes
been working
laughing
on this
for
for months.
Yeah, they posted the loading, rotating dingus, and I'm like, son, I ain't get no picture. All I got is like a loading thing.
But you're like, I tried it twice. And can you email it? No, so I posted it again and like do a screen cap. I was dying.
Yeah,
And then Jim posted it back, and I'm like, yeah, that's what it looks like to me. I don't know what your problem is. Works fine from here.
I gave up. I give up. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
All this in the context of some new merch that we're working on for y'all.
Right, and it will be limited edition merch. One run. That's it. First come, first serve.
Yeah.
So
You know what
Joe,
I'm getting is
Jody,
good.
it's a very fair point. He's saying that given the accuracy of the MFJ SWR meter,
right,
that is
absolutely.
that is 100% a fair point. But we're just messing. We're just monkeying around. but I do think that what we can say is that there is a difference
Oh yeah.
with the Abri. But whatever. I don't care either way.
People talk about those bird meters all the time, and I'm wondering just how accurate your used, abused, loved bird meter from the Hamfest graveyard, boneyard swaps is.
Some of those are in some bad shape, but they are nice meters. But if you buy a new one, you're looking at what are they $500-600 something like that.
Oh yeah. They're not
Full of
cheap.
bills, man.
and
they're
then
not
you have
cheap.
the slugs. The slugs are expensive too.
That's how
I
they
don't.
get you.
I don't remember what the slugs run. I want to say they're not quite $100, but they're still.
I bet it depends on the. So like I like watching
It may.
CB. I like watching CB guys. I'm just going to admit it right now. And I was watching this one where these guys bought these 10,000 watt slugs. I shudder to think what a 10,000 watt slug was, but between the two of them, they were not getting the same reading, and the one guy was all bent out of shape because you don't know which
I
one
would be.
Yeah.
which one's right or wrong.
Which one do you trust?
Right. Well, if you have one clock, you always know what time it is. If you have two, you're never quite sure.
Right.
You have to get that third measurement to.
Oh, and the best part is when you plug
reasonably
meters
close.
in series, they really start to interact with each other.
Right.
Nothing's better than 3 meters in series telling you your SWR.
Well, so what a lot of these CB guys do is they have two bird watts, two bird watt meters in series, and the first one gives for average watts, and the other one is for peak.
Right.
So they can get two readings.
And this is something we may we probably will come back to. I'll probably sit down and tinker with this when I'm not on stream. If I could remember all the steps, we could set this up so it would do the math for us that Ape was doing. But I think Ape's math is pretty on point.
It's like a C. It's like a C minus. I mean, I passed math.
It's close enough for Ham, son. It's close enough for Ham. Christiana, thank you. Appreciate it.
Do we dance on this channel?
Hell yeah!
He needs some milk.
Thank you, Christiana.
There's only so much dancing you can do in 4 square inches.
Right.
I added a new move to my repertoire. I haven't gotten any commentary on it yet. I'm not going to tell
That's
anybody what it is.
fantastic.
I mean, if y'all drop another super chat, we could see Ape's new move.
Well, I might not do it.
We'll full screen Ape so we can enjoy it.
But I've got I've got so many moves in my repertoire now that I'm going to have to put a chart over here, like a workflow, so make sure I don't miss any of them.
I just think it's hilarious hearing you say repertoire. That's good.
You know, I mean, I've got extensive vocabulary.
Oh my
Your French
God!
heritage.
Right.
Right. Tolerance of meters is usually stated as percent of full scale deflection. Yeah. And, I've said this in several of my videos, and I know Ape has said this as well. And I believe Sparky said it. This ain't an NIST certified lab.
Right. We're just hams.
We're just average doofuses who do some YouTube and
Right.
try not to be completely dumb on camera. All right, there it is. Throw down.
I don't want to
boys.
go full screen.
I won't do.
You're not
I
full
have a
screen.
camera malfunction.
You're not full screen.
I can see that I'm full screen, but here's
I didn't do that.
Thank you, Christiana.
Move, Smokey, move.
Great, Christiana. Thank you again. Well, guys, we are gonna just kind of vamp and bullshit here until the end. Oh, Kevin Flavin, thank you. I have a new member. He is
Awesome.
a new member. That requires another dance.
Starting to get tired.
I'm going to steal Ape's move. Is this how it goes, Ape?
Just take the picture.
Which
Just one.
finger is it?
I'm afraid at my age, I'm going to throw something out of line or something. I don't know. Ooh.
He needs some milk.
Kevin, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
We are going to kick you automatically over to the Ham Radio Cub house. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
These people get crazy over here.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks, Jody.
Jody, appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. We are going to kick you guys over automatically to Ham Radio Cub House. And Cub House. Make mine a Cub sandwich. I was traumatized by The Lion King.
Hey, I'm going to have to go grab my cooler and then go get in my setting chair so I can watch this guy.
Right. And so anyway, y'all need to tell them that FEP Labs Radio sent them.
There you go.
Right.
And to try and up the value of their stream, all you guys are going over there to watch that stream with them. And they're supposedly, theoretically, going to talk about radio stuff tonight. They're doing
Talking
emergency.
about the weather, the rain
right?
that y'all had down there.
Well, see, Joe Brett was hiding out in the root cellar with his 7300 under one arm and making his kids lay across the amplifier so it didn't get damp.
Right, I don't want
Daddy,
this
my
dang
butt's
thing-
getting wet. It'll be
I
all
don't wanna
right, son.
Getting damp.
That's right. That's right. Thank you all for showing up. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Steve,
there he is,
Ape.
right there. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Guys, thank you very much. Have a great evening. See yous.
See ya.